Hello, dear viewers, and welcome to a new episode of Business Insider. Egypt has signed 7 memoranda of understanding with international developers in the field of green hydrogen and renewable energy in the Suez Canal economic zone that could lead to a total investment worth about $40 billion in the upcoming 10 years. That's according to a cabinet statement. Investments of about $12 billion as stated in the cabinet statement is expected for a pilot phase, followed by a further $29 billion for the first phase. Egypt has signed a series of memoranda of understanding and framework agreements for the development of green hydrogen over the past 2 years, including one in November 2023 with China, worth about $15.6 billion, and also all of this came on the heels of COP27 that Egypt hosted, and of course Egypt is trying to become a hub for green hydrogen and renewable energy, but it is facing competition in the Middle East and in North Africa at large. With us here in the studio to discuss the topic is Professor Dr. Mohamed Morad. He's Assistant Professor of the Faculty of Navigation Sciences and Space Technology at Beni Suef University. He's also the head of the Space and Navigation Applied Science Program at Beni Suef National University. A very good evening to you, Dr. Morad. Thank you for joining us.
Good evening for you, and it's nice to meet you again.
Thank you, Dr. Morad, for being with us. Allow us, please, and allows the viewers first to watch a report about tonight's topic and then come back and start our discussion.
Egypt has signed 7 agreements with 7 international developers to implement projects in the fields of green hydrogen and renewable energy. The agreements are expected to bring in investments of over $40 billion over the next 10 years. The developers who signed the agreements were Bash Global Smart Energy, Gamma Construction and Meridian, SKE and C Plant C&C North Africa, Etokil Gila, AMM Power, United Energy Group. The agreements cover a wide range of projects, including the production of green hydrogen, green ammonia, and renewable energy. The projects are expected to be located in the Suez Canal economic zone. Minister of Planning and Economic Development and Chairperson of the Sovereign Fund of Egypt, Hala Al-Said, said that the agreements represent a new step for the TSFE in its series of investment partnerships with major global companies to establish green hydrogen projects in the Suez Canal economic zone. The minister added that the agreements are expected to bring in investments of $12 billion for the pilot phase and $29 billion for the first phase, for a total of $40 billion over 10 years. Ayman Suleiman, the CEO of the TSFE, said that the fund had received continuous and growing interest from investors in green hydrogen projects. He added that the agreements reflect the growing interest of companies in joining the Egyptian green hydrogen program, which reflects the state's progress on the right track by establishing a well-defined and comprehensive program supported by all state agencies. The signing of the agreements is a significant step forward for Egypt's green hydrogen program. The program has the potential to make Egypt a major hub for green hydrogen production and exportation. In the same context, the Ministry of Electricity and Renewable Energy has introduced the Egypt Solar Energy Platform to enhance the role of renewable energy. Created in collaboration with key entities like the Egyptian Electricity Holding Company, New and Renewable Energy Authority, and others, this interactive platform facilitates the identification and monitoring of the solar energy installations by individuals and companies. It simplifies their integration into the national grid, enables communication with stakeholders through various channels, and establishes a central monitoring dashboard for real-time project tracking and issue resolution.
Welcome back. Thank you very much, Abir Hussein and Rasha Abdul Hamid, for this report. It is to note that Planning Minister Dr. Hala Saeed has said that Egypt's sovereign fund is also seeking to promote the country as a regional hub for green energy. The minister set out how the fund has already succeeded in launching Africa's first integrated green ammonia production plant, and the latest deals mark the beginning of new investment partnerships and projects that all contribute to achieving the goals of the National Green Hydrogen Strategy. The plan, agreed in November, is part of a drive to see Egypt contribute 5 to 8% to the global hydrogen market. The strategy also targets reducing carbon emissions by 40 million tons per year by 2040. Egypt, of course, again, a leader, a global leader in the field of combating global warming and climate change, and we saw what happened in at COP27 in Sharm el-Sheikh in November of 2022. We're back here in the studio with our dear guest, Dr. Mohamed Morad of Beni Suef University and Beni Suef National University. Dr. Morad, how do you see the new deals signed and Egypt's ambitious attempt to become a leading global player in the field of green hydrogen?
Yes, firstly, what the green hydrogen? Actually, green hydrogen is the one of the most effective power source. It is not only for generating power, but also for storing the power and to transferring the power. From maybe 20 years ago, we have a problem if we generate a lot of power, but we can't consume all of the power. So we can't store it.
Or a lot of waste.
Yes, waste of the power. We just make some connections with the counters and some other using the cables, and this is not very effective because of the waste of the power. So the hydrogen is not only for producing the energy, but also to storing it and to transfer it. This is why we are concentrate here on the green hydrogen. About the green, why the green? Because the hydrogen can be generated from the water, and Egypt has a lot of waters in the Mediterranean Sea and Red Sea and others. So the element or the key factor is the water, and it is already we have a lot of waters here. So the second factor is the technology. To make a separation, the water is H2O, so we need to separate the hydrogen from the oxygen. It is an electrochemical process. The technology and a lot of technologies and a lot of process can be done to make this. So it is a clean. Why it is the clean or why it is the green? Because we make this electrochemical process using the renewable energy. And also Egypt here has a lot of renewable energies, especially at the last decade. We have a lot of solar cells, yes, in Aswan especially, and in Zafrana we have wind energy. So I think Egypt become a hub for the renewable energy. And we are looking forward to generate about 40% of all of our energy using the renewable energies here in Egypt. So all the factors which we need to make the hydrogen or to produce the hydrogen, green hydrogen, exist in Egypt with a good way.
Right. Dr. Morad, could you tell us in a nutshell why it is important in today's world to invest in new technologies related to green energy?
Yes. As I said, when we make the invest in new technology, the green hydrogen has faced one major problem in the cost. Why it is have a lot expensive nowadays? Because the low technology make it. We need some materials like the platinum, which is very expensive, to generate or to make the process of electrolysis. Electrolysis is to separate this hydrogen and oxygen atoms from the molecule of water. So by developing our technology, we can lowering the cost, and then to be more effective, and to be more competitive in this technology. Also, it is a promising technology because the green hydrogen, we can store a lot of power, not only using it at time, as I said, using special tanks or special pipes. We can make transportation for the energy from one side to another. We can packaging it, and we can also transporting it using chips, using any other type trucks and so on. So it is a very, 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 we have a very benefit for using the green hydrogen to produce the energy than other electrical system or another fossil fuels or coal. This is one side. And the other side is to save the environment, to climate change control. We can, we should use the green hydrogen nowadays. And all of the world actually become intended and become concentrated on the green hydrogen and invest in it, because it's the promising technology and the promising energy production process.
Right. Dr. Morad, if we look at the economics of the different types of renewable energy, how do we compare the green hydrogen, for instance, economics with other forms of renewable energy that might seem less costly, like solar energy, for instance? But can you compare the economics for us, please?
Yes, actually hydrogen is a source of the power, not only the electricity, but the power. So you can make the planes or the ships or any other type of the vehicles which need to operation using the combustion engine. Combustion engine may be using the fossil fuels now, but we can replace it using something, it's the hydrogen fuel cells. But another types of the electrical, renewable electricity, we just can produce electricity, not to transfer it to combustion engines or any other type of combustion. Another type, the huge industry or the huge factories which need a lot of power to work. Okay. Also, the hydrogen can do this. We have a lot of water, so the water is the key factor of producing the hydrogen.
So one day we will reach that stage when green hydrogen will be less costly than the regular forms of energy that we know now.
Yes, for sure, using two elements. The first factor or the first element is to, by enhancing our technologies and our research in this field, we can replace the heavy cost or the high cost materials and some metals like the platinum by another one. So this is the first form. And the second way is an economic way by making the massive production. For the massive production, you know that we can lessen the cost or decreasing the cost of the hydrogen production. Also, another thing is the transportation. Maybe the hydrogen have more expensive than others in production nowadays, but in transportation and in transmission from one point to another and in storing, will be less.
Right. So when should we expect, first of all, the equilibrium to happen? The point of
equalization.
Yes.
I think
economically, of course.
Economically, yeah. I think if we are going in a good steps, maybe from 5 to 10 years, maybe we have this equalization. I think so.
Okay.
Yes.
And that's as far as Egypt is concerned, or you're talking about the situation globally?
Globally, but
we will all be together.
Yes.
I mean,
because
no one will be left behind here.
I hope so.
At least Egypt will not be left behind because it started.
Yes, it started
early.
Yes, I think Egypt, one of the 5 countries in the Middle East and North Africa, which started the green hydrogen projects as soon as possible and make a lot of cooperations, as you started your interview now. This cooperation with a lot of international entities like the Germany and Chinese and others. So
Right.
we are cooperating with all the world.
One of the countries in the region. So as we mentioned in the introduction, that Egypt does face competition from neighbors, from some neighbors in the Middle East and in Africa. Could you tell us how tough or easy that competition is?
Yes.
And with whom are we exactly competing?
Okay, we have a lot of challenges in the hydrogen, not in Egypt, in all the world. So who can facilitate or who can overcome these challenges. Firstly, he can be the succeeded in this competition. I think Egypt has a lot of facilities to lead this this production in not only in the Middle East and North Africa, maybe in the world. Because firstly, the water availability. We have all the water availability from a lot of sources. The second facility that we have a lot of technologists here. We have research centers to make this research technologies. We have many.
Do we need to spend more on
yes,
those researchers?
Yes, sure, for sure. And I think that the academic research centers here in Egypt and the institute and a lot of institutions in the private sector also sharing now in the production, so we can decrease the cost as soon as possible as we can. Number three, also the transportation, because the location of Egypt within the middle of the world.
Yeah, this is something nobody will ever be able to take away from us. I mean, yeah.
Yes, like the Suez Canal, Suez Canal economic zone actually involved now in this production in a good way, and with a lot of cooperations. I think about $6 billion will be in the next year, 2026. $6 billion of investment in the hydrogen production and transportation. So we are a hub, as you mentioned in the first of this interview. Egypt may be a hub or will be a hub, inshallah, in the hydrogen production and the transportation, not only the production.
Wonderful.
Yes. So if we take a lot of steps in this way, technological way, our location, our key factors which help us to be a hub. So if we are a hub in our region, I think the competition will be for Egypt for sure, inshallah.
Inshallah. Now, a question that must be posed here is priorities. When it comes to priorities, okay, so we have money to invest, but we have many areas where we want to invest or draw investments. So do you consider renewable energy and green hydrogen a top priority for investing and drawing investments? Or do you think that it should come in second, third, or fourth, or whichever position? I know it's not a very easy question, but I just wanted to hear from someone like you. What do you believe?
Okay, in my point of view, in this concern, I think we should transfer from the traditional thinking about how to solve our problems into to be out of the box. Hydrogen or hydrogen production or the green hydrogen production, it's one of the most, I think, promising technologies and promising production.
Promising?
Promising, yes. It's very promising for sure. In the energy production and transportation. This is the first point. From another hand, we already have a long shot in the renewable energy also. So it will.
We already took big strides.
Yes. So it will facilitate our mission toward generating the hydrogen or the green hydrogen technology and production.
So we have the resources in Egypt, you mean?
Yes,
we have the resources.
Yes, the resources, waters and technologies and the renewable energy, which is very, very important to make the process of the electrochemical process, which we need to generate the hydrogen from the water. So I think maybe it is one of the most important things, or the most
promising, as you said.
Promising, yes. So
you focused on technologies more than once in your speech. So how far are we ahead or lagging in that field? Technologies related to renewable energy and green hydrogen specifically.
Yes, I think because our cooperation with the international sectors, international institutions, international countries in this field, so we are near to the most of the advanced countries in this field.
Good.
We are not far. Yes.
Okay. Very good.
And I think here we are started from 3 or 4 years to have a lot of importance for the green hydrogen and renewable energies in Egypt. From about 10 or 15 years old, we are trying to go to the renewable. In COP27, at this era, we already make a lot of process to go to the renewable sources or renewable resources, especially the green hydrogen. So I think we are in a good
position.
Yes.
Good. Yes. Now, Dr. Morad, I wonder what can, and I'm sure that space technology and navigation applied sciences can have a big role in, I don't know, in discovering resources related to renewable energy, in helping advance technologies related to the issue. You tell us, I mean, how can we benefit from space? And you're a man, you know, that's an expert in this area.
Okay, as we mentioned before,
space always has a hand and always has a role. I remember that.
We make the space to first exploring the Earth, exploring our treasures.
Space explorer.
Space explorer in the Earth. Maybe I think about the green hydrogen production problem and the cost problem related to the technology issue. We need to change or replace some of the high costed materials by another one. So the materials which you can discover it using the remote sensing, which is already done by the space for sure, it's important. Also to explore a lot of another type of materials, waters. From another hand, also in a lot of fields, a lot of sectors, you have medicine, transportation, engineering, civilians, and other militaries. So space support in this. Actually, we, from another hand, also not only the space technologies, the nanotechnologies also it is very, very important in this way or in this production green hydrogen production and transportation, artificial intelligence and make simulations. A lot of new technologies are very, very important because I think that who have the knowledge and technology, he can make the production more easier and more cost effective, and he be a competitor in this problem or in this industry.
Right, and space always helps you have more knowledge, and perhaps saves a lot of researchers because it explores, so it sees.
Yes.
So okay, now the government has a big role here, and it is doing its best in this field. Is this an area where all of the weight should be on the government, or we should have the private sector also involved? I'm talking here about renewable energy and green hydrogen in specific.
Yes. In 2021, before the COP27, Egypt make alliance. It's the Green Hydrogen
Alliance.
Yes. This alliance includes the Ministry of Electricity and a lot of institutions, research institutions, the government and the private sector. So this alliance or this cooperation between these sectors will facilitate this production and make. I think we have a lot of problem, or the major problem we faced in Egypt from decades and from years is that in each institute and each partner work in a separate island. But by making the cooperation, which will facilitate the production process, because we can cooperate in making new technologies and making not only the technology and the material alone, but a lot of things like the tanks, like the transportation issues, like how to make this transportation pipelines safe, because the hydrogen, you know, is very, very exploding and
risky.
Very high pressure, risky. Yeah. So we should make the safety issues also need a lot of research in this side, because it's a very harmful also in the other. Okay, you can also we have a water. We make some process to generate the hydrogen, and especially we can reuse this water, so it's a renewable, because this water which we make some process, it's also reused for another.
Well, it's good that you
waste it.
cleared this out. So we're not going to waste water.
Yeah, there's no wasting for the water in this. So who make this reusing? The research, research technology, research institutes make the new research to how can we use this wasting water, or in a lot of fields, like the agriculture or other sources which we need.
This is what we call recycling. I mean,
recycling, yes, something like that. So I think that we can't separate between the research institutes and the researchers and the new production to make us producers, not just users for the technology. It's a big,
very important point. And you want to see an integrated effort between all parties concerned.
Also the international parts, because we are okay in the head of this technology, but we need to cooperate to exchange our expertise and so on to still be in the head of the hydrogen production and transportation.
Good.
I think this international cooperation, we already make this, as you mentioned in the first of this interview.
Right. So Dr. Morad, you are telling us that we already have taken good strides in that area, and we should make bigger leaps to continue to make sure that we capitalize on the strides that we've already taken. We have to continue in this path. Right?
Yes, for sure. For sure. You said that we have $40 billion of investment. So with international partners. So
over 10 years.
Yes, over 10 years. This means about $4 billion for a year.
On average, yes.
Yes, it's a very big investment. So we should catch this. I think about 250,000 employees can be work in this projects because it is not only the production, but production and transportation and another.
You mentioned storage also before.
Yeah, the storage. Yes, the storage also need a huge area, a wide area to make the tanks which you can store the hydrogen inside it with the safe containers and safe tanks. I think Egypt has a lot of good areas to make this storing, and because it's location, we can distribute it to Europe, to Africa, to a lot of
making the best use of our genius location, I guess. Yes. So what about the challenges, Dr. Morad? What are the main challenges that we are facing, and how to overcome them?
Yes, the main challenges, as I said, the cost, as you said, firstly. And I think the cost can be eliminated or can be overcome using, firstly, the know-how, the technology, the research. First, so the cooperation between the research centers with the industry and the government is so important. This is the first thing. The second thing is the safety issues related to the production and also the transportation, even using tanks or pipelines, because it's a very harmful technology and very harmful.
Yeah, but we have to keep
secure it, keep it secure, and keep it safe for transportation and for generation. Yes, this is a second challenge. Also, we face some challenges related to the distribution, to change the mentality of the importance of climate change problems and weather.
Global warming.
Yes, the global warming problems. So we need to make. As we make in COP27 and COP28, we should say that it's important to have a new renewable sources or a new clean sources, green sources actually, to replace the fossil fuels and something like that, which already have a bad impact on the environment.
Right, but this is where, as you mentioned earlier, there has to be a global unity, or a regional unity, continental unity, a global unity, because we can't do it alone. Yes, Egypt has the will, but obviously many countries, many leading polluters of the world, it's not in their interests, so they're not going to cooperate with you the way you want, at least.
Yes, but I think in the last few years, France, most of Europe faced a lot of problems in the climate change. So I think all of the countries now know the importance of the...
even the US, even China? Speaking specifically about the US and China.
We hope they cooperate, but I think China already make a cooperation with Egypt.
That's true, yes.
Example in this,
yes, November 2023, yes.
With the big...
15.6 billion dollars. Now, you can't be here and on a day like this, and we've seen fast economic developments in Egypt recently, monetary developments, financial developments, investment developments, economic developments. So I'm going to try to link those events with our topic here and ask you, you mentioned, for instance, that $40 billion over 10 years expected in the field as an investment expected in the field of green hydrogen and renewable energy would equate to $4 billion per year on average.
On average,
yeah. So if we mention Ras Al Hikma, for instance, that was big development. Egypt's biggest deal in its investment deal in its history, $35 billion US dollars. And another 150 billion of investments over, I don't know how many years, but maybe 10, maybe more, I don't know, until this huge project is finished. So this also might translate to, using the same equation, to on average $15 billion of investments per year. And now this morning we saw the Central Bank of Egypt freeing the pound totally and settling at around 50 pounds for US dollar, and that's also the price in the black market. I mean, there's almost no black market now. It's the same price, bank, black market. So and many and we're seeing the IMF deal. The Prime Minister saying that it's going to 8 billion from 3 billion. And we expect the signing any time. So all of this, how do they feed? How do these developments feed in the basket of green energy?
Yes, for sure.
Investments in green energy.
Okay, I believe that Egypt from 2014 till now, it's working in parallel ways. One of the learning and one of the technology and other for healthcare, a lot of parallel ways. We can't stop one way to until reaching our target in another sector. So I think these parallel processes in parallel sectors should serve each other. About the economic problems or the economic monetary problems, I think no one from outside to invest in a society or in non-health society in economic way. So each investor which we come to Egypt and to make investment in green hydrogen like this, he should be safe and he should be has a lot of safety about his money. So I think this step is a very important step. Maybe we have a lot of problems.
You're talking about the floating,
the floating, because any outside people need to be safe or need to be have a clear vision about the monetary system in Egypt. But I think the main problem which we face is that what about our steps to overcome the problem in the long term? We make the floating many times before. What about the next time? Will we make a float to more than this? I hope so. I think we should concentrate on the industry, concentrate to export our industries and our products. We should be a producer.
The local components.
Yes. We should be a producers, not just to be import everything. Else we will continue in this scenario time and time, and I think the government have attention for this, and I hope so. You go to something like the green hydrogen production will, after we make a transportation,
we might be able to export
we
it.
Can, yes,
yeah.
we can export. For sure, we make this for export because already Egypt has a sufficient electricity and sufficient sources of power, so we don't need it very much, but for exporting, especially for in our location. So this is will be a very good income for foreign currency.
Inshallah.
Inshallah. And other resources we need to focus in the next days on what will be our products to the world to make the foreign currency to compensate this problem and to...
and one of them should be green hydrogen.
Yes, green hydrogen. Okay. Yes, we hope this green hydrogen will be the leading production for. We need to be a producer for technology, producer for products, producer for everything. Actually, agriculture. Yes.
And we have all the tools. We have all the capabilities.
Yes, all the capabilities are
here. Yeah.
Yes, are exist here in Egypt.
Yes.
So we hope to go to this this way. And to achieve our goals.
Inshallah. Thank you very much, Dr. Mohamed Morad, the professor at the Faculty of Navigation Sciences and Space Technology at Beni Suef University, and also the head of the Space Navigation Applied Sciences program at Beni Suef National University. It's been a great pleasure having you, and we hope to see you again.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Morad. Thank you, dear viewers, for watching us. This is Mohamed Abdelrahim, and this is Good Night.